What's up guys? Today I want to talk about a ton of new products from Sydney Grace. We are almost in the middle of their Christmas in July sale event where they're not only having amazing deals and promos, discounts on the website, but they're also launching a lot of new products. And this is the first time I've ever been sent PR from Sydney Grace, and it's incredible, and it includes almost everything that's launching or being discounted during the sale. So I wanted to walk through them, swatch them, and give you my thoughts in case you were curious about anything that's new from them, and then also share my thoughts on the sales and things that if I were you, I would pick up, because honestly, I probably am going to be picking some things up in the sale. So first of all, I want to talk about a bundle that they recently launched. Not only launched, but guys, the deals are this good. Not only did they launch this new bundle, but the first day of the sale, let me pull up the webpage to make sure I have this right. I'm pretty sure the first day of the sale, yeah, if you spent $50 on anything on the website, you got this bundle for free. 9 shadows that you got for free if you just spent 50 bucks, which is a steal in my book. So this is called the Raspberry Kiss bundle. It's a 9-pan set. It has 4 matte shades, 5 shimmery / metallic shades. And as you could have guessed from the bundle name, it's a bunch of beautiful berry and berry leaning shades. Now I just got all of these things yesterday, so my reviews of these products specifically are only going to be based on a very short period of use. I've swatched all of them, but have only been able to actually use, apply to my face, a handful of these products, which I'll talk about and demo for you here in the video. But I have used a lot of Sydney Grace shadows, both the pressed powder as well as the cream shadows, and I've yet to come across any shades that I wouldn't recommend just in my initial use of all of these powder products here. So Raspberry Kiss is a really pretty selection of berry shades. If you love berry shades, you'd love this. If you're looking to add more berry shades to your collection, I think you'll enjoy it. And I also want to point out that, like so many palettes, a lot of the shades in this one are multi-use. For example, I'm using the shade Aim High, which is the lightest shimmery pearlescent shade in this 9-pan set bundle, as my highlighter today actually. So you can really sheer it out and wear it as a soft glow to the skin, but it's also intensely pigmented and can really be an intense frosty situation if you need it to. And while you no longer get this bundle for free with a $50 purchase, today as part of the Christmas in July event, you can get 30% off of any bundle. So now that this is officially launched, I believe you can add this to your cart and get 30% off, which bundles are generally pretty discounted anyway, if I remember correctly on Sydney Grace. So that's a steal. Now moving on to the next set of shadows, they are launching what I think are their first multi-chromes. This trio right up here are multi-chromatic shades, so they're not duochromes. They don't have like a base with one colorful shift. There are like 3, maybe even 4 shades in each and every one of these pressed powders or pigments. Not really sure how to classify them, but they are gorgeous. The shades here are Chameleon Air, which is a green, blue, teal, golden. Then there is Beauregard, which at face value looks like it's multifaceted purple shades like deep purple, blue purple, lighter berry purple, but then at more extreme angles, it even has an antique golden orange shift in there. It's absolutely incredible. And then the last shade actually might be my favorite. It is called Twisted Shifter, and I think it might be my favorite because it has some of the most extreme shifts to it. At its deepest, it's kind of an intense deep purple that goes into a berry and then shifts to a golden, like an antique gold shade, and then on into a green, like deep green lime green situation. Like, it's a beautiful spectrum of shades. I'm wearing Beauregard all across my lid today. I have it layered over a couple of other shadows that I got that I'll show you as I'm applying them, but I really feel like this is a one and done shade. I am going to be doing a comparison video of a lot of the other multi-chrome shadows that I have, because at this point I have been slowly accruing them. I just placed a pretty big order from Cleona Cosmetics, I believe that's how you say it, and so I want to wait for those to come in before I make like a grand sweeping comparison across all of those that I have, but just know that video is coming because I love a good multi-chrome. Okay, now moving on to the other shadows. This, by the way, is a palette from Adept Cosmetics. I've talked about they're another indie brand that is really phenomenal, especially if you're looking for freeform palettes, because this one, you know, folds up like this, but it's dual-ended and you have these flaps to protect your shadows, a mirror on one side and then just like a protective panel on the other. Really love them. But moving on to the next round of shadows, there's another 9-pan bundle coming out called the, I believe this is the Mountain Trail bundle. The Raspberry Kiss bundle was labeled in my package, but this one was not. But it's the only other bundle launching here, so I'm pretty sure this is it. And I love to play in berries, like that's my playground, but this is where I live. This is my home base right here. So these greens and golds and mustardy colors are just my jam. Once again, you get 4 matte shades in here and 5 shimmery / basically metallic shades, beautiful, beautiful high shine metallic shades, and a really broad spectrum of shades as well. So you have a good amount of contrast in here. And this set, just like the Raspberry Kiss, when it launches on the website, you'll be able to get it for free with any $50 purchase. That is on the 26th, by the way. So in just a few days that will be happening, but I'm assuming you'll be able to purchase it if you like alone, if you did full price, if you just want this and nothing else on the website. But if you love greens and golds, would highly recommend checking that out because it's gorgeous. Moving on to some individual new shades that they're launching. There are 4 of them. One beautiful burnt orange, which is a matte finish. That is called Ferris Wheel. Then there is a pretty deep grapey purple that has a shimmery finish called Face Painter. Next up is a vibrant shimmery fuchsia. That is called Magic Act. And last up is a vibrant teal with a slightly like light teal / golden shift to it called Juggler. So vaguely circus / carnival themed. And I didn't see anywhere where they would be sold as a quad, but you might get them in mystery bags. On a few days you get you have the option to get a mystery bag either with a small purchase or for free with your purchase. I can't remember which. I will have a link to the page on the Sydney Grace website that has all the details for this, but to my knowledge there isn't a promo where you get all of these. I think you'll just be able to buy them individually, or you might get them in one of those mystery bags. And then last up is a new blush, and I had never tried a blush from Sydney Grace, but holy moly, it's beautiful. So this is called Cakewalk. It's a vibrant, cool, bubblegummy pink shade with a super soft, shimmery shift to it. It's not overwhelming, just gives you kind of a light highlight to the cheeks if you want to kind of double up and do a 2-in-1 thing like blush highlighter. This will give your cheeks a soft sheen, but it's so buildable. I mean, use a light hand with this if you are fair to light because it's very bright, very pigmented, but goes on so smooth and evenly. Like I might be making a purchase for more face powders from Sydney Grace because of how impressed I am with this. Alrighty, moving on to some loose pigments and powders now. So, oh, actually here, they sent this bag with everything, and I think this, if you get a mystery bag, this is the bag that everything will come in, which is actually really nice. It's a nice sturdy zipper and it's kind of a plasticky feeling material. So as you can see, my fingerprints, my powdery, oh my God, how did that happen? My powdery fingerprints have already gotten all over this, but I think it will come off pretty easily because it's like a non-porous plastic kind of material. Okay, now moving on to loose pigments. When I got these, I was kind of blown away when I realized what they were. This is a loose pigment. And just to give you a sense of comparison, I'm more used to things coming in this size of a jar as opposed to this huge jar, 4 grams of product. This doesn't have how many grams in here, but I mean massive. So I have 5 shades to share with you here today. I don't know that this is all that they offer, but I had never tried any loose pigment for Sydney Grace either. And so far I am pretty impressed with them. So the first shade I have is Optimism. This is more of a deep, shimmery, metallic emerald shade with a lot of gold peppered in there. Then there's Joyful Day, which is more of a metallic teal shade. Next up is a duochrome called Comforting Light, and it has a really pretty soft mauvey lavender base with then a baby blue pearlescent shift to it. It's one of my favorites from this bunch. Then there is Delightful Spark, which is a pretty true monochrome, but still very intensely metallic cranberry, like deep red shade. And last up is Glee, which is the deepest of all of these shades. It has like a blackened deep plum base with a bunch of blue and purple shimmery iridescence to it. Now the texture of these is really interesting. They're chunkier flecks in the pot. So when you see them, I think when you see them on camera, you'll think they're larger pigments, and they are, but it doesn't take a lot of working with them, either rubbing it on the back of your hand or using your finger to blend them in, that they really break apart and just melt into your skin. So I wouldn't worry about these. There was a MAC pigment a while back that was chunky or flaky that I wished would have done this. So don't think you're going to end up with a bunch of larger chunky flakes of pigment on your face, because these like melt into your skin. They're incredible. The other thing that I love about these, super small and has less to do with product quality and more to do with packaging, but each and every one of these, the plastic like circle that typically comes over the sifter in here that I normally, it's like Fort Knox getting into. I take every tool in my arsenal to try and get it off and then try and use some magic on top of it. They actually put like larger tabs on here so that you can easily pull them off. Like I said, it's the little things, but it's just such a better experience when you can easily get to your makeup, especially when things as pretty as this comes in the mail and you just want to get to it as fast as possible. Alrighty, one more loose pigment, and I'm not sure why the last three products I have are packaged differently. The last two, I have a glitter. It's called Fairy Meadow. It's a really pretty gunmetal gray blue. No alternate tones in there, just a very straight tone of glitter, which is pretty. And then the other is also called a loose pigment, just like those in the larger pots. This is called Mulberry though, and it has a very distinctly different texture to it. This feels like more of a traditional pigment, whereas the other loose pigments felt more like crushed metals. Very pretty, Mulberry is. It's just very different in texture than the pigments that I just talked about. And last up is a loose highlighter. This shade is called Pink Lightning, and I was so surprised at how glossy this made my skin look. Like, it's definitely a powder, and it's definitely a softer pink leaning powder, but something about the way it's milled or the pearlescent pigments in it, when it's applied to my skin, it doesn't look iridescent, pearlescent, shiny. It looks glossy and dewy. It's so weird and hard to describe, but if you're ever in the mood or looking for a wet looking highlight, but you want to look that lasts, because so often with like balmy or glossy highlights, it just melts down your makeup instantly, this would be a good one to reach for because it looks like you are glistening, we'll say, but without actually being wet. Alrighty, so those are all the products. Pretty much love all of them. Now I want to talk very quickly about the remaining days of the sale. So 23rd, today, like I said, all bundles and palettes are 30% off. The 24th, tomorrow, is a surprise day. They aren't going to announce that until 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. They're pretty active on Instagram, so I would check there, or maybe it'll be on the site. They'll update the site then as well. Then the 25th, pay attention, because this is where I think I'm going to make my biggest purchase. The 25th, cream shadows will be $5, blushes will be $5, and highlighters will be $7. So I think this is where I'm gonna buy a few more of those blushes and cream shadows. In case you haven't watched a video here on the channel before where I've talked about cream shadows, if you buy one cream shadow in your life, make it a Sydney Grace cream shadow. In fact, I keep them at arm's length because I love them so much. So here are 4 shades that I have. I've swatched them like crazy here. 2 of them are duochrome, Scrooge and Master Plan. Scrooge is a teal that has really pretty golden / light green shift, so kind of a trichrome, and then Master Plan is a soft lilac with a greeny golden shift to it, and then some really intense metallic shadows. I Don't Know, which is a warm bronze, and Cliff Jumping, which is a cool greigey bronze taupe, something like that. But all of them are fantastic. I don't need to wear a base under them. They go across the lid intensely pigmented, and then once they dry down, they stay in place all day. Like, do yourself a favor if you love cream shadows. If you just want to try cream shadows, buy one of these on whatever day that was, the 25th. Moving on to the 26th, like I mentioned before, if you spend $50 on anything in the store, you get that Mountain Trail bundle for free. The 27th, there is a tiered offer. If you spend $25, you get $20 worth of items for free. You spend $50, you get $50 worth of free items, and then if you spend $100, you get $110 worth of free items. The items are chosen at random from the collection. And then the last day, the 28th, is another surprise day, so that won't be announced till that morning either, and it looks, there isn't even a time that it's going to be announced on the 28th, so TBD, follow closely if you're interested. I know I will be. So those are all the deals happening in the Christmas in July sale, as well as all the products that I had to share today. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're picking up anything in the sale down in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys.